Alright. Here we are. What's good, fam? You know what it is. 1-800-223-97.
What's wrong with you? I have so many questions.
Oh, man. If you guys don't know, if you're from New York and you know Hot 97, 1-800-223-9797, Hot 97, be caller number 97. Let me know. Nah,
I think only people from a very specific area of New York would know that, Badaki.
What do you mean? That's like very cryptic. What do you mean?
I mean, like, people probably from your area, the only people that would know that. Not everyone's going to have access to that radio station.
What do you mean? If New York. See, Tom says, yeah, Badaki. See, talk it up. Nah, I joke.
Tom say that. I didn't see Tom say, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm waiting.
Well, I guess my response thing is a little bit faster.
It is what it is. What's up, people?
What's happening, y'all?
All right, we got 8 people watching the stream. Not a lot of people. Typically, we have a lot more. So I'm interested to see what everyone's up to.
A
But
little bit
I
different.
appreciate you guys for coming out to the stream. Shout out to everyone over here on Twitch. Shout out to your boy Bricks. Says hello. Is this thing on?
Hello.
All right. So everybody who's watching it, could you do us a massive favor and just drop a like for your boys? Show some support. Everyone out here, y'all know what we're doing. We're doing a Dynasty SuperFlex startup draft. Okay. Now, shout out to everyone in the draft, Tiz TV, Gator, Tommy, John, Mark H, Mark. We got Mark and Mark H.
We got Mark and Mark H. I love that the Mark H put H just so he can be different.
It's like, hey, I'm Mark H. I'm not Mark.
Yeah.
They got bad blood. They're like, no, I'm not that Mark. I'm Mark H.
You know, Sean as well.
No, I'm the OG.
Kia Ora, fam.
Who's Kia Ora?
Am
I missing something?
That's what they say in New Zealand. Like, I don't know, sapus. Is that? It's kind of like a New Zealand thing.
Is it like a greeting?
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, right. What's up, Kindle? Wait, Mark says I'm also Mark H. Wait, Mark, are you the same person from two different accounts? I'm so confused now.
Maybe is it? But have you ever noticed Mark H is always orange and Mark is always blue? So that makes sense.
Wait, no. So I think what Mark is saying is that his last name is also starts with an H. Is that what he's saying?
My last name starts. Yeah. That's funny.
That's actually really, really funny. Shout out to the Mark. Oh, could you imagine if both of those guys joined like our league and they were in the same league together?
That would be terrible.
Like, hey, I'm sending Mark a trade. No, I'm sending Mark H a trade. No. You just literally have to say both their names.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to the 18 people watching on YouTube and the 4 people over here on Twitch. Could you do us a massive favor if you're over here on YouTube? Could you just drop a like on this video? That's just gonna help us reach some more people to grow the community.
That's right.
Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're over here on Twitch, follow if you haven't followed. 18 people, 19 people. So in theory, we should be able to get to 19 likes right now with your help. So let's see, 3, 2, 1. Hit the like button if you haven't hit it. Let's see what we can do together. What's the goal on this one, Badaki?
30. I think 30 is pretty decent. We're on 20 people right now, 14 likes at the moment.
Okay,
I mean, we're halfway,
30 likes.
We're halfway there essentially, and we just started. So,
30 likes is the goal tonight, y'all. Help us get there if you don't mind. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hey, we need to quickly talk about our leagues, okay? So if you want to play in a dynasty or a redraft league with us, our last leagues are getting full, okay? If you've been on the edge, if you're considering it, feel free to DM us if you have any questions over there on Discord or Instagram or wherever you prefer to contact us. But we need to let you know these are the last leagues, okay? So once these do get full, there will be no more leagues. So if you're thinking about signing up, now's the time to do it to secure your spot. Really, really excited.
Thanks for following, brother.
What happened?
On Twitch. Got a new follower
on
on
Twitch.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to you, Dev Relevant. But really, really want you guys to have the chance to be a part of these leagues with us. Now, quickly, just so you know what these leagues are about, okay? You have Dynasty, you have Redraft. Badaki and myself, we're both in those leagues with you, with the community. We're drafting with you. We're trading with you. We do the live stream for the draft as well so everyone can see it, so we can have the community be a part of it. You get a bonus episode with that. You get the fantasy hotline where you can direct message us with any questions. You get our weekly rankings and a bunch of more exclusives. So if you're considering signing up, let us know if you have any questions. The link is pinned in the comment. It's patreon.com/fantasylandfam. We have a ton of people who are like playing like chicken right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, I'm going to do it. And then they're like, oh, not yet. Sorry, I'm just got to figure something out. If everyone who said they were going to sign up signs up, then we would have like 2 more leagues. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I just want to let you guys know, we're not joking. There's not going to be another league. This is it, right?
Yeah, this is it. Like I said, I guess just pull the trigger. The faster we get these leagues filled, if you're thinking about joining, the faster we can start drafting and then kind of get into a good place with everyone. So Daniel H says he feels personally attacked. It's mental. Get us out. Nah,
Daniel.
nah. It's all love. It's all love. If you can sign up, that's great. If you can't, it's still love. You know, do what's comfortable for you. We understand there's no
Oh,
pressure,
100%.
but you know, I guess we just want to have the best experience for each
Yeah,
and every one of these people that sign up,
definitely.
and kind of just go from there.
Daniel H, talking too much, bro. You know, you talking too much. You talking the draft. You're like, oh, I got you, boys. I'm gonna snipe you, boys. Put your money where your mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
All jokes aside, hey, 23 people watching the stream. We're about to drop the link. We're doing a Dynasty SuperFlex startup draft. Okay. There's 23 people watching, so in theory, we could get to 23 likes with your help. So drop a like on this video. Help us reach some more people. What are we doing today, Badaki?
Dynasty SuperFlex startup mock draft today. Obviously, you know quarterbacks are essential here. So we have one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, a flex spot, and a super flex spot, meaning you can play your quarterback with, I think, 6 bench spots, 7 bench spots. It's just to help you understand what Dynasty is, get a feel for how the board is falling, who is falling to you. So if you guys don't know, Discord, solo.to/fantasylandfootball is the easiest way to mock with us. We have a mock draft tab on there if you're not part of our Discord channel.
I accidentally put it in there early.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna delete it right now. Let's see if anyone gets in.
Well, people got in. 1, 2 people got in. 3 people.
Okay,
got
how many
in.
people got
4
in?
people
1,
got
2,
in.
3. Oh no, I've ruined it.
Well, you might as well just put it out now. 5 people.
Okay.
Everyone's coming in now, so it's just a fat GG.
Wow, look at that. That's what we call a leak. All right, people. Well, we sent the link in Discord.
Well, we apologize if everyone was trying to get in. Zach really messed it up there.
That is hilarious. That's what you call a true leak.
Sean's in from New Zealand, and then Tommy. Hey, Tommy got in. Let's go, brother.
Let me see.
Look, not tomorrow. Friday.
So
we
Friday
are doing another
then.
mock
So
draft.
Friday night.
We're doing another mock draft. So if you missed out today, we're doing a PPR mock draft, redraft mock draft.
Yeah.
On Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing one more mock draft this week because just to get people into it, you know. See, this mock draft season is drafting season as well.
We also want to help you get ready for your leagues or if you're in our leagues.
I guess
all right.
Might as well go to the draft screen.
Might as well go to the draft board. I mean, I dropped the link on Discord again, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. Go to that if you want to join our Discord. You'll never miss an opportunity to be a part of one of these mock drafts. This is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex and a super flex, and then we got 8 bench spots, so not too many bench spots. We just want to kind of get the basics going. But let's go ahead and begin this bad boy. Okay?
Yeah.
60 seconds on the clock for each pick.
Yeah, and then we'll go halfway.
Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, on YouTube. Big love. Really, really appreciate it. We cannot explain how much we have appreciated the community growing this offseason. We fully expected to, lose a bunch of following during the offseason, but we've actually gained so many good people.
See Soxy on the board? I think he was trying to get people in the voice chat. Anyone trying to join the voice chat? LOL in the sleeper app.
What's everyone up to tonight, people? What are y'all up to? I mean, I think this is probably the easiest pick of all time. You can just grab Patrick Mahomes whenever you're ready, my guy.
There you go. You see? Now he's got it. Starting at the 1.2 here, so it's different. Usually,
Daniel says, should I pick up Kirk Cousins in the 8th round on my startup? I currently have 1 quarterback. In the 8th round, Kirk Cousins.
Who's available? Who else is available?
Yeah, it really does depend on who else is on the board there. It's not as if it's a bad pickup in the 8th round in a Superflex league, Kirk Cousins. I wonder where he went in our league. Yeah, he went at the end of the 8th. Guys I would rather have than Kirk would be, like a Sam Darnold, Baker, Mac Jones, Tua, Daniel, probably not Daniel Jones, but I think Badaki would rather have Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I hope that helps. Daniel said, Tommy says, I'm sure Big Ben is available. Other quarterback is like Carr, Cousins, Sam Darnold. I personally would go Sam Darnold if it was me. I like Sam Darnold's youth and I like the offense that he's in. I like Kirk Cousins' offense as well, but I just think there's more unknowns with Sam Darnold that excite me than there is with Kirk Cousins. Like I know exactly what I'm going to get with Kirk Cousins at this point. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about the Rashad Bateman injury? That's a little bit sad.
Yeah. There was two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about that and Hard Knocks.
Who's watching Hard Knocks, people?
Did you watch it?
I did.
We're not gonna say any spoilers because hopefully no one everyone saw it, but at the same time,
no spoilies.
You know, how'd you feel about it? First epi.
I honestly was slightly disappointed. I don't know. I just feel like I was really confused about the direction they were trying to take this Hard Knocks so far, and that's probably prejudgment because give them time. Damn, Right. But yeah, I was slightly confused. Where exactly is this going, guys? What's the motive? I liked the Dak Prescott, but I thought we would see more of his offseason recovery and what that looked like. And they were he was injured, but didn't really talk too much in depth about it. Or ask him mentally where he's at, or those kind of things. You could see him battling with that, but I don't know. I thought it would be more, to be honest, than what it has been so far. Normally first episode of Hard Knocks, I'm damn, that was unreal. I'm so hyped. I'm still hyped because it's Hard Knocks, but I'm also what? What was the goal of this first episode? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess it's just an introduction to the team, what happened in the offseason, what happened last year, because obviously they spoke about Dak, Zeke.
Yeah.
Kind of the history, not the history of the Cowboys, but the Jerry Jones mentality type vibe.
Yeah.
Once again, it's not, I mean, we're just giving out little nuggets. It's not even spoilers. It's just, I think you kind of.
I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but I found it so funny watching Jerry Jones just eat that old school hamburger and just putting salt on it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just found that so funny.
Kyle Pitts here at the 112 from Tommy.
Sheesh.
This is really interesting here with Joe Burrow.
I mean, look, Kyle Pitts is my tight end one, but
if you think about it, really think about it.
Yeah.
There's no wrong. I don't think that's a wrong answer. I mean, he's at the 112. He takes Joe Burrow. He solidifies his tight end spot. Let's just say he took Kyle Pitts at the 2-1. Is that still a difference? Just because he won the first round.
No, it doesn't matter. It's the same spot. It doesn't matter.
I know. Here's the thing.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, continue.
This is looking a lot like my team in one of our leagues, in one of our follower leagues so far. Mm-hmm. I think if you want to get Kyle Pitts and you're drafting at the 12, then you probably if Kyle Pitts is your goal, you probably need to trade out of the 112. Honestly, trade the 112 if Kyle Pitts is who you want there, for the 212 or 3-1, and then take Kyle Pitts. I love Kyle Pitts. He's my tight end one in Dynasty, but I'm also not comfortable taking him there at the 1.12. I think it is slightly a reach, but that's just one man's opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Thomas, Zach, I'm excited to see Mac Jones in the new defense tomorrow. Obviously, your Washington football team is playing the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is going to get a lot of time there on the setup. I'm assuming Taylor Heineke potentially is going to get some work.
Yeah, Heineke will get some work. We'll see some Fitzy, I think. Maybe not. It's so hard to know who exactly you'll see in these games.
Would you be upset if you see Gibson or Terry on the field?
Will I be upset?
Yeah, I guess just in a let's keep him safe, let's keep him healthy mentality.
Well, I mean, I'll just trust coaching, but I will probably be hey, we probably don't need to have them out there right now. You know?
Okay.
I remember when we drafted Darius Geis, and not a good guy, right? I mean, well, yeah, he did some bad things. Before he
had all this claim, he was a decent football player, and you thought he was a good guy. Yes,
he was a second-round pick.
Yes,
and big talent. A lot of people compared him to Leonard Fournette. Mm-hmm. We started him in the first preseason game. He tore his ACL, and then it was just injuries since then. So there is a little bit of a mental side as a fan, right, where you're looking at these high draft capital players and you're Are you sure we need to put them in preseason? But then you also have to, like, as a coach, not like don't have to be scared to like outplay your game plan in the offseason. So
Okay. Yeah.
Daniel said he's seen some reports that Joe Burrow is the next Ryan Leaf. It's a little bit harsh.
That is harsh. Look, I think we're gonna do a bounce back play a segment on Joe Burrow, the podcast, right after this live.
Yeah.
So I think we don't want to go too much into it, but it's an interesting conversation of his injury, kind of what he is going through right now, all the reports that are coming out of camp. This offensive line is bad. He's not in sync.
Yeah.
It's all interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. By the way, big shout out to Ingsy, who just joined our redraft league. I think he's going to join Dynasty as well, which would mean there's even less spots.
Oh boy.
Should send over that deposit soon. If you want to play, the spots are filling up, people. Again, Dynasty and redraft leagues. We put on leagues for you. We're active in them. We care about them. We draft with you. We trade with you, and build a little community there. And it's a way for you to support us as well. So if you go to the comment that's pinned in the chat, patreon.com/fantasylandfam, that is the way to sign up to those leagues, to play with us, to play with our community. Tiz said, damn, I'm used to 3RR, third round reversal. Yeah, look, I'm not a massive fan of third round reversal, if I'm honest with you. In my opinion, it actually gives like the 3-1 and the 3-11 a little bit too much power. That's just one person's opinion. So yeah, I mean, I get why a lot of people enjoy playing that way. I'm personally not someone who likes playing that way. What about you, Badaki? I mean, you might see it a little bit differently. There's no wrong answer.
No, there's definitely no wrong answer. I've seen a couple mock drafts with a third round reversal. I don't see the benefit. I guess Tiz, I will like you to kind of explain why you like.
Well, the benefit is to help out the 12 spot and the 11 spot, but I would like to argue that it kind of gives them more power than any other position. So yeah. The benefit is so like the 12 spot has a better advantage.
Right.
And the 11 spot, same with like the 10, 11, 12. So you reverse it and then they get the go at any of the players there. A lot of people like third round reversal. They think it balances it out for sure, specifically in Dynasty. Yeah. There's a lot of people who do play that way. It's not the wrong way to play at all. It's definitely not the wrong way to play. Personally, it's just not something that I've enjoyed being a part of, but it doesn't mean it's the wrong answer either. So you took Travis Etienne there at the 211. You know how high I am on Etienne, but I didn't know that you've raised your rankings. Have you, or is it just something that you're trying?
No, it's something that I'm trying. I was actually going to take Etienne and Swift. I was hoping he was going to come around because I thought C-Sox was going to come to me, or C-Sox was going to take Etienne instead of Swift. Okay. But I figured I'd try something else. I figured I'd go get my main top positions, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, maybe tight end or whatever position comes to me in the next round. So I'm just trying something different right now.
Yeah, I get it. I took Etienne at the 212 once, so I don't think it's too early, honestly. So he goes as the RB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's my RB 9 in Dynasty, guys.
For me, he's my RB 12. So
yeah. I mean, I feel like I've a broken record talking about how much I love Travis Etienne, so I won't talk about it anymore. But you guys probably know that. If you have questions about it, I'm happy to talk about it, but I also don't want to keep relaying information. In love with a guy. What's the rationale for Etienne over Swift, Badaki? I think you're trying this, but do you have Etienne over Swift in Dynasty?
For me, currently, no. He's technically, sorry. I said he's my RB 12. Etienne's actually my RB 13. Swift is my RB 12. Like I said, I thought C-Sox was going to be taking Travis Etienne. I mean, obviously you don't know. You know your league when you draft with him.
Yeah.
Majority of the time. So not that I know C-Sox and I know who he is. But I just figured he will go youth, which he kind of did. AJ Brown, Swifty. So I was hoping that Etienne.
I'll give rationale because I have Travis Etienne over DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I like his quarterback better. I like the relationship that he has with his quarterback better. I like that his quarterbacks relied on him in the past to be relevant in college.
Mm-hmm.
I like the chemistry that they already have. I like Travis Etienne's skill set more than I like DeAndre Swift's skill set. I think Etienne is a complete back. Not that Swift is not, but if we're going to make a mold of Alvin Kamara, you guys know this. You know how I feel about Travis Etienne. That would be Travis Etienne. I'm not worried about James Robinson. Um, Look, like Urban Meyer, I know he wanted Kadarius Toney, but he also drafted Travis Etienne, and he drafted him with very, clear intentions. You don't draft a running back if you're obsessed with the one that you already have. Personally, I think Travis Etienne is going to be a monster in this league. He's going to be a monster in fantasy, and I'm willing to take him earlier and let his stock rise over time, so people in Dynasty will be like, "Oh wow, yeah, like I probably should have drafted Etienne." I'll ride or die with Travis Etienne in Dynasty.
Let me ask you a question about, I guess, kind of to elaborate on that. I know we just did our NFC North division, and you were saying that like the best thing in the Lions organization currently is the offensive line.
Yeah.
Why does that not affect Swift for you then?
It does affect Swift. I love Swift.
Okay. I was just
It's
wondering.
just not Travis Etienne.
Okay. That's fine.
I mean, offensive line, of course. Like, who has a better offensive line right now? It is Detroit. But who has a better situation? Would you rather have Jared Goff as your quarterback? Or would you rather have Trevor Lawrence, a guy that you've been with for 4 years in college?
Right.
So, no, I don't think that there's a wrong answer. I just have my my strong opinions on that. All right, let's see. What do I do here? I feel like I'm literally drafting like my exact team I have.
Yeah, do it.
Because I know what I want to do, but I don't want to keep drafting the same team.
That's why I went in a position that I usually don't draft in the 1.2. It's a bit difficult. Zeke in the third round sounds like a right spot here. I like Zeke in the third round there. It's decent. Clyde and Zeke.
I don't know. So Zeke at the 3.5. Yeah, I think that is decent value. He's my RB12 in Dynasty, so I do think that is pretty decent value there. Yeah. The 3.5.
I like it.
Justin Fields goes at the 311. He'll probably go higher than that. He and Trey Lance might go higher than that. I was thinking about getting CeeDee Lamb, but I've already got like, if I drafted CeeDee Lamb, then I would probably have like my same squad that I have in our other Dynasty league. So I wanted to kind of branch out here and see what it would look like if I went a little bit of a different route. So we got CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery off the board. Tommy goes 4 positions in a row. David Montgomery as his RB1. That'll be interesting to see how the rest of the squad pans out. You know, what he can get, to fill those roles as well as the RB2 on his team. Interested to see here what Tiz TV will do. So he grabs Watson. Okay.
Fields and Watson. It's not terrible.
Aren't that's not terrible.
Terrible? Not terrible. Daniel, I feel like Etienne is going to be exactly like Swift was last year. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, he could. Swift did decent last year. Gator fan, if you're James Robinson, do you request a trade? Maybe not this year.
If you're James Robinson, do you request a trade? I mean, I don't think you have like undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
I think Zach, I don't think you have any power to request a trade. Like, what would the GM do in Jacksonville if James Robinson approached him and was like, "Hey, man, I want to trade"? They're like, "Okay, well, it's not going to happen. You're a running back." Do you know what I mean? Like, what power does a running back have to request a trade? When has that ever worked? Even with the elite guys, you know?
I mean, I think the most suitable thing for James Robinson, unless this offense wants to do a running back by committee, like a Chubb Kareem or whatever the case may be, I think I'm not saying he should request a trade, but I do think he will get traded in the future. I think there's value in James Robinson, even if he's undrafted. You know, no matter what, you're gaining from if you trade James Robinson,
Yeah.
like you got him undrafted. You get a 4th round, you gain something. You get a 3rd round, you gain something. You get, whatever
There's
round.
literally no way anyone gives that for James Robinson, though.
Yeah,
No GM in their right mind. Like Bill O'Brien's out of the league. That's not happening anymore. Like no one is going to give that draft capital for James Robinson.
Yeah,
He's talented. Yeah, he's mad talented, but nah.
I think there is draft. I mean, I don't know if it's the 3rd, 4th round, but I just think there is draft capital in James Robinson.
It will honestly, at best, be a 6th or 7th round pick. There's no way it would be higher than that, in my opinion. Henry Smith, what's up, my guy? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if we've had you on the live stream before. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but welcome. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would mean a lot. He said, in my first SuperFlex Dynasty League this year, and these mocks have helped me get my bearings going into my draft. Cheers, guys. Keep it up. Appreciate the love, my guy.
Huge love, man. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
That is huge love. Daniel says, bruh, how did the tight end fall to me? Honestly, that's a really good question. Those tight ends, I am actually curious how they didn't go a little bit earlier. Does Darren Waller worry you at all in Dynasty as a tight end? The uncertainty of Carr's future in Las Vegas.
It does have. I don't know if you heard. Apparently, Darren Waller hasn't been reporting to camp at all. He's been off the field with personal issues, and this is the first thing. The first thing I thought. You want to hear. The first thing I thought, which is this is terrible, but like I was like, obviously he used to be a drug addict, and I really hope he hasn't like gone back to that, or like maybe he's still dealing with that. I honestly hope he's okay.
Yeah,
the same. Honestly hope he's okay, but that was my first thought.
Yeah,
and I get it. I really hope that's not the case because I want him to succeed as a player and not,
as a person.
Yeah, and as a person. So that was something that I saw, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. So, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I really hope that he's okay. Like that is not what you want for someone. I wish him the best. Like fantasy doesn't matter at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's something going on in a player's personal life, fantasy doesn't matter. Like you got to value that person. So I hope he's okay. Yeah, man. I really, really, actually, genuinely, because that's such a good story for him. I hope he's all right.
I hope that's the case as well. So that's all right. Henry, first time catching a stream, but have gone back and watched some recent ones. That's awesome, man. I mean, this is great that you're here now, man. I'm glad that you're here with us live. That's awesome.
If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Don't know if you have, but appreciate the love, man.
Also, I'm at the 101, but I am considering trading down. What would you take?
That's actually
the 101.
That is the most difficult pick to trade. The 101. Patrick Mahomes. You're trading Patrick Mahomes. If it's a super flex league, you're always trading Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not sure there's a trade out there that makes sense for anyone to pull the trigger on. I had the 1.1 in a Dynasty startup. And people are hesitant to trade with you because they know what it would take to get like Patrick Mahomes. They know what that means. This guy's on a 10-year contract. He's the best quarterback in the league. I found it extremely difficult to trade the 1.1, and no one actually gave me decent value for it. I don't think it's possible. I mean, no, it's possible. Of course it's possible, but I think it's very unlikely that you're able to trade the 1.1 and it makes sense for people. Because you have to realize you're losing Patrick Mahomes. But then the other person has to realize, well, am I okay losing all these picks? Because, I mean, I would need like their first. I would need probably like their second. And then probably like, I don't know, maybe their first 3 picks. I don't know.
And that's the thing. Everyone values Patrick Mahomes differently. So, like, yeah, someone like this is in the chat saying a second and a fourth for a first for that 1.1.
Not the 1.1. That's Patrick Mahomes, bro.
You see, and Zach is telling you that you should take, first 3 picks. So
at least like if he's at the 1.5, I'm saying you're giving me the 1.5, the 2.8, and the 3.5. Let's talk about a later round pick. I also want the 8.8 and the 10.8. See, like, there's just no way to because like you see that as a draft pick, but what you don't realize is it's Patrick Mahomes. the best quarterback in the league, and he's on a 10-year contract and the best offense in the league.
Yeah.
So
people
there's no way to put proper value on that.
Yeah, people find it differently. Look, I would never give up first, second, and third for the 1.1. Best I would probably do, if I really think about it, if I get the 101, I'll probably give up my first. Yes, maybe my first and maybe a third and a draft pick. Maybe maybe that's the kind of the route I'll go. I think what I would do is try to swap positions in the draft, and then just give as much draft capital if you want, because I think that helps you save your team this year when you draft. But the draft capital later is like, oh well, I don't really have to worry about a quarterback in the next 4 or 5 years because of Patrick Mahomes.
Here's how I look at it: if you think there's any reason to trade Patrick Mahomes, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is Dynasty. This is a SuperFlex league. This is a guy on a 10-year contract. This is the definition of the most secure player we've probably seen in Dynasty leagues in decades. There is no value that you could trade him. I don't see a way that I could trade him. Now, other people might view that differently, and if they have the 1.1 and they're going to give it to you for pretty cheap, then maybe go out and get it. Daniel says, no way Mahomes is worth a first, second, and third. Interesting. Everyone's going to see this a little bit differently. Let's say at the 11 spot, okay? The 11 spot for Tiz TV was Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, and Justin Fields. Would you rather have those three or Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah. So, I mean, once again,
I don't know that there's like absolutely, I would rather have Barkley, Harris, and Fields. Does anyone feel that way? If you do, then you just see it a little bit differently than me, and that's okay. I don't feel like, I would absolutely rather have Barkley, Harris, and Justin Fields. That's just me, though.
Yeah. So Henry said, I won't trade down in all likelihood, but man, it's hard to gauge these picks values in comparison to Patty. Absolutely. If I were you, I'm okay not having Patrick Mahomes. I'll be completely honest. I mean, I'm okay to get a young guy like a Trevor Lawrence, maybe switching spots at the 110, depending on, who you're trading with. Because look at the 101 team, and then look at, let's just say Zach's team or Tiz team. I don't mind having Saquon, Najee, Justin Fields, and Deshaun Watson when or if he does come back, because, Patrick, the 101 still only has one quarterback, 2 elite, technically, wide receivers, and then 2 decent running backs, where the 111 has 2 top-tier running backs. I mean, Najee, we expect him to be a top-tier running back, and Justin Fields, hopefully he can come out and do his thing. It's just really hard. It really is hard, man.
There's just no way I'm trading Patrick Mahomes. Like, there's just genuinely no way you're going to get Mahomes off me at the 1.1. And that probably means he's not going to trade the 1.1. It just depends on how people view Patrick Mahomes. But I would absolutely rather have Patrick Mahomes than Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, and Justin Fields if we're talking about someone trading from the 11, for example. So, I mean, let's look at 1.6. Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, Derrick Henry. Would you rather have those guys or Patrick Mahomes? I personally can't get to the point where I am trading Patrick Mahomes for almost any value. So,
all right,
I get it. I'm just looking at some of the comments.
Yeah.
Daniel doesn't agree. That's okay.
Yeah, 100%.
He thinks that Mahomes isn't in his own tier. It's okay. You know, everyone is welcome to think whatever they would like to think. Yeah. So Tiz TV is unsure as well. I'm just gonna make my pick here quickly. I'm gonna grab my third RB and Trey Sermon. I like this team so far. Don't like the tight end, but yeah, look, the reality is everyone's going to see this differently. You're going to have a different opinion than me, and that's okay. That is totally okay. Guys like Allen and Kyler give you the same security. The same security, I don't know if they give you the same security. They give you security for sure. I would argue that not the same security, but that's just a difference of opinion. Henry said, I won't trade down in all likelihood, but man, it's hard to gauge these picks value comparison to Patty.
I already read that, but that's okay.
Sorry?
I said I already read that, but that's okay.
Okay. I was recapping, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Go ahead.
No, continue.
Like to take over. Anyway, let's see. What's the question? Do you think Josh Allen, Murray, or Justin Herbert should be the number 2 pick for me? Should I draft Gibson second and then Stephon Diggs in the third to stack? Or is there a chance at Trey Lance for Dynasty? Um, it's pretty difficult to say how the board would fall in that scenario.
Yeah.
If I'm at the 2, I'm probably drafting Josh Allen or Kyler Murray. I probably would go Murray. You would probably go Josh Allen
Mm-hmm. I'm going Josh
at the
Allen.
2. And then I mean, if Gibson somehow falls to you at the 2.11, then yeah, I would definitely grab Gibson there. That's really, really good value. And then Diggs at the 3-2 might be a little bit too high. You might want to trade out of the 3-2, maybe select a 3-5-6 and get a little bit more value so you can still grab a Diggs. But it's not a terrible plan. I would say Trey Lance is a guy that if I could get him at the 3-4, then I'm cheering. I think he's going to be an absolute star. Trey Lance. I mean, I just love what I've seen from him. I think he's going to be a star. Trey Lance.
Yeah. I think once again, it depends. I definitely agree. Josh Allen goes first. Justin Herbert is in talks. I think all those guys aren't a wrong. Sorry, it'd be Josh Allen for me, Justin Herbert, and then Kyler Murray in that order, no matter where you are on the board in the 1.2. So it really depends on how you want to take that.
Yeah.
Gibson, if he does fall to you, amazing, but I guess just be prepared to have a backup. Because Trey Lance falling. I mean, I'm more of a Justin Fields advocate. I'd rather have Justin Fields over Trey Lance, but I don't think there's a wrong answer there, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm Trey Lance. There, but I get the conversation for both. Tommy says, "Damn, lucky to get Carson." I think that's, that is probably the highest I would take Carson. I personally would rather have a Trey Sermon over a Carson and a couple other guys, but that's just because we're talking dynasty here. Chris Carson, he only has actually one guaranteed year. There is 2 years on that contract, but they could easily cut him after this year if they, want to move on from Chris Carson. So he's definitely someone that worries me. As much as we are like worried about Mike Davis because of his contract, like I think we should view Chris Carson a little bit, similarly. I know that Carson's younger. He's the more talented player right now, but they're both on 1 year guaranteed contracts. I know Chris Carson has that second year, but that second year is not guaranteed, guys. There's an out clause there. So as much as I love Carson, I'm not sure that I want to, draft him in Dynasty. He's not a guy that I want in a Dynasty league. What about you? I mean, do you see that differently potentially?
In a Dynasty, I don't mind taking him in the lower tier of running backs. I'm still taking Michael Carter, Trey Sermon, Ronald Jones over Chris Carson. But if for example, if Chris Carson came to me at the 6'11", I'm actually really excited to take him there. Yes, I can have depth in my running back position, but I think he's a good running back. I once again, he always outperforms his ADP every single year. I expect the same this year. I mean, he has one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL as well. So I think there's going to be some good stuff happening there.
Henry said, if I get a top 3 pick in a second, I would consider it. I'll get Allen or Kyler still. Everybody's different though, for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that the guys at the – here's the deal though. The guys at the 2-3, I don't think that they would be willing to give you a second to move up. But maybe they would. Personally, I'm just sticking with Mahomes. I'm not going to question the gold that's fallen to me. But everyone sees it differently, yeah. Gator says, I'm mad I screwed up my 5th round pick, I think. Oh, man, it happens. Don't stress. Jay Bro said my backup would probably be go to winning mode and get Zeke and then Diggs and stack on receivers and get Tannehill or Brady. Yeah. Tannehill and Brady seem like the 2 quarterbacks that change people to like go into like a win now mode. Brady, I think, is being slightly overdrafted in dynasty leagues. I think he went in like the 5th round of a recent draft I was in. I was like, oof, that's a little bit too high for Tom Brady in dynasty. But it looks like he's still on the board, so I'm interested to see where he's going to fall then. Funnily enough, Jalen Hurts is still on the board, which is almost never the case in dynasty. I think everyone just knows how much I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah. Probs. You hate him.
I don't hate him.
He skewed the community.
I don't hate him.
Hater. Go for it.
Tiz TV says thoughts on his draft. Tiz, we actually give out draft grades at the very end of the stream. So at the very end of the stream, we will make sure to give out draft grades, and we'll talk to you about all the things that we might have done differently. We'll give you a grade, and that should hopefully help. How old is Tannehill? I believe Tannehill is 32, so he's still got a pretty good career ahead of him. Let me double check. I mean,
33.
let's see, 33. Yeah, so he's still got a pretty decent career ahead of him at the age of 33. Ahan, what's up, Ahan? He said, I think I choked my 6th and 7th round picks. It happens, guys. It happens. You know, you get in the heat of the moment and you get into draft mode, and then you feel so prepared. And then sometimes we just make the wrong moves. We make the wrong picks.
Ahan,
but it happens. Don't stress. Huh?
Is that Ahan Seasocks? Is that right, Ahan? I could be wrong.
Oh, I didn't know Ahan was Seasocks.
I'm asking. I don't know if he is or
oh.
If he's
not. Right. I don't know.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, there's only a certain amount of people that drafted the 6th and 7th spot.
No, true. I just didn't know if they meant in their real draft.
Right. Yeah, see, he said, yeah, he is Seasocks. Cool.
Oh, there you go. So Tua and Cam, yeah, that is probably too early for Cam Akers. Right? I mean, what do you think about that? Is that too early for Cam Akers? It's
definitely a bit early. This was a guy that I was hoping to come back to me in a certain round because my running backs are really weak at the moment. I was hoping that no one was going to take him, and I can kind of get him maybe in the 8th or 9th round, just to have that depth security in the future in a dynasty perspective. But yeah, I think it's a bit too early. I wouldn't have taken him there. I think there was still a lot more talent on the board. But I mean, it once again, like, he's in the same position I am. He only had 2 running backs. He needed running back depth. It gets really, really bare.
Yeah, no, it does. Sometimes you do have to make pretty hard decisions. I think in our recent draft with our community, I believe I got Cam Akers. Where did I get him?
I think you got him in like the 8th or 10th round. Was it 10th round? I don't remember.
I'm trying to find him. Where the heck did I get Cam Akers? I got him in the 10th round. Yeah, you're right. 10th round. So that'll be interesting to see if that was actually a pick that was worthwhile. It was kind of just a risk pick. I was like, you know what? Let me just see if this is going to work out. And then I got Xavier Jones as well, just in case.
Yeah.
He has a role there. So there goes Tom right after Baker Mayfield. Quarterback still on the board were Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. So that's interesting. I think Baker Mayfield at the 7-6 is pretty good value, though.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't mind it. I mean,
is there a chance that Baker Mayfield actually balls out this year and is like a top 12 quarterback in fantasy?
Hey, shout out to Guzman. Subscribing on YouTube. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you. Yeah, thank you for joining the community. Does he bowl out top 12? Man, that's a big question.
Is there a chance? I'm not saying will he. Is there a chance that Baker Mayfield, knowing the identity of this offense now and trying to include people in a more natural way, is there a chance?
I think there's a chance. I think the chances aren't high, but I do believe there's a chance.
Okay.
You know, now thinking about my pick with Kenny G, I should have taken Damian. I should have just taken Damian and another running back or something. Because
Damian Harris?
Yeah, because it's weak, man. It's weak. This running back depth. Scheiße.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
this is why we mock people.
Yeah, maybe it should have been Damian. It's hard to say, though.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's too early to say.
I was hoping Michael Carter was going to fall to me, too. I was like, I can get Michael Carter. But you see, this is why I'm skeptical. Like, I wouldn't have drafted Kelsey there. You know, like, thinking about how the board fell.
Or 11? Come on, that's good value.
I know it's crazy, but, like, now I'm stuck with no running backs. Yes, I have Travis Kelsey, who hopefully has, a couple more years. And then at the same time, JJ, like, I did a different outtake or draft where I took JJ at the 3-2. I mean, I could have had any of these guys, Eckler, Zeke. I could have had Javonte. Like, maybe, I would have taken any of those guys over JJ just so I can be comfortable in my running back depth.
Okay.
Because I could have had anyone. I could have still had Devonta Smith and Kenny G. JJ probably would have fell to somebody else. I don't know, man. That's so interesting.
Interesante. Hey, we had 3 subscribers so far on this live stream. Big shout out to you guys. That's
Huge
awesome.
love, huge love.
And
Thank
a
you so
couple
much.
followers over there on Twitch as well. So big love. Oh, we've had 2 followers on Twitch, 3 subscribers on YouTube. That's a big W. That's a big W. Appreciate you guys.
It's coming close. You know, that 900 mark. We're at 875 right now. We're actually really excited to hit
On
that
YouTube,
mark.
yeah.
On YouTube. So if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you watch this later and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps us out, helps the community, helps us grow, and you know, kind of do what we love here, doing mock drafts, fantasy football. We love doing this, honestly.
Having a good tight end is way more important than the third RB. Yeah. I think Badaki's issue is more like the age of Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I think if I would have
compared to the young youth at running back he could have potentially got, but
exactly.
No, I definitely would rather have Travis Kelce than most of the running backs that were available there. So I still think it was the right pick.
Yeah, I think for me, it's all about youth running back because yes, I do have Etienne and Sanders, which is good youth, but like if one of those guys go down, what am I doing? You know, like I'm happy to stream a tight end, get a second tight end late in the draft. You know, the tight end position is very weak. I mean, I think this year is a little bit different, but
yeah, this year is different. I was gonna say Henry actually said something I noticed. He said tight end seemed to drop in this mock. It definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way in a real dynasty mock draft that tight ends go this late. You know, looking at our mock draft, let's see. You know, the top 3 were pretty much gone in the first 3. So yeah, it doesn't really happen like this very typically that you can get Kelce at the end of the 4th. You know, that's definitely abnormal, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially because like a lot of people have Kelce still as their tight end 1 in Dynasty. Like I don't, but a lot of people would still have him as their tight end 1.
Yeah.
I bet you wanted Zach Moss to fall to you.
Honestly, I haven't been looking because I didn't want people to see who I was going to take.
I love that. It's a mental game.
It is a mental game.
Hey, big love for watching everyone who's watching. Hey, let me change it to 30 seconds on your pick, Badaki.
Let's get it. Let's get the people going. Huh? Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard it. He's got too much power in his hands, people.
Boy, if you don't. Here we go.
If you haven't dropped a like over here on YouTube, that would mean a lot for us if you could drop a like. The goal was 30, but, you know, we're almost at 20, so that's still good.
That's funny. Yeah, that is still good.
I wonder if people are already, you know, they're pretty much getting done with their dynasty drafts at this point.
Yeah, community, let us know what you think. Like, would you like to see more more PPR mock drafts now? Because redraft. Just because it's getting to the point where, yeah, you know, it is. I might have to go chase Edmonds here. It's getting to the point where a lot of these people are, you know, these dynasty startup drafts have already gone. You know, maybe it's all about PPR season if you're going to have a second league in a PPR redraft league. Let us know. Let us know if that's what you guys want to see a lot more coming into.
Yeah,
I guess
could
the
it be
second
redraft
half.
season officially?
Yeah, the second half of August. Bro, I don't know if you know, but they're saying this lockdown could extend all the way to November. Did you see that?
Who said that?
It was on the news last night. Gladys. They said that they might as well. Says do more redraft. I'm having one a day. I have no clue. Ha ha ha, Tom. But yeah, they're saying that it could be all the way to November until we hit 70% vaccination, which is crazy. But
I just don't think the lockdown's working, bro. I don't think the lockdown's working. Like, the cases are just growing. They've grown since we've been in lockdown here in Sydney. I just want to live my life. I don't know. That's probably selfish. Just want to live my life. You know? You're on the board right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to still take Rashad Bateman here. I'm happy with taking Beatty. come back.
TV says, why do people do dynasty drafts so early? I want mine to be soon, and I'm the commish of my league, but nobody's down. Scared of preseason. I think that's exactly why, So I guess there's two sides of the coin with dynasty because it is a long-term game. A lot of those small knick-knack injuries don't matter as much, and people kind of want to start building their team. They want to build their dynasty now. So, what's weird is some people actually draft dynasty startup drafts before the NFL draft, and they just place rookies.
Yeah, that's all they do.
And then they do the rookie draft. I think it just depends on your league and what the majority wants. If the majority wants to do, closer to the league to the start of the season, that's fine. If they want to do it earlier, then that's fine as well. But yeah, I do think that a lot of people do worry about injuries. I get it for redraft, but for dynasty, it doesn't worry me as much. Now, the one example of maybe it did hurt people was Cam Akers this year. No one expected that kind of injury, before training camp even began. So I get the perspective both ways. Like, Cam Akers, that injury doesn't happen very often. And his value significantly has dropped now. So I get it both ways.
Yeah, it just really depends on what the people want to do in your league. We did ours a little bit after the NFL draft. Once we knew where these players were going, we kind of had an understanding and a feeling.
Can you show the whole board, by the way?
Yeah, sorry. Once we have an understanding and feeling of kind of what, where these guys were going, we were like, okay, I'm happy to draft there. And we did a dynasty startup with our really close friends. So yeah.
Yeah. Question from Mahan: will you guys do mocks even in the middle of the season? I don't think we'll be doing mock drafts in the season. I think the main reason for them is, to prepare people for the season. So I don't imagine us. I don't imagine us, doing those mid-season. But we will have a ton of live streams like during the season and a ton of content both on YouTube and Twitch.
Absolutely.
We are live streaming start and sits, each week. If you have questions about who to start, who to sit, we're going to live stream that. We are live streaming Straight Cash Just Trash, which is where we review, the end of every Sunday and basically say, who was cash, who was trash. Do we expect that to continue, or do we expect that to regress for a certain player? We are live streaming a brand new show, which is called Talk It Up.
Talk It Up.
Talk It Up is going to be a show that's completely different, branded. It'll be on this channel, but it'll be branded completely differently. Where basically Badaki and I are going to be with some of our lifelong friends. Well, not lifelong, but college long friends, and just having bants. And we're going to be watching Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football with you guys. If you don't have anyone to watch it with, now you do. You have us. And we're going to be watching the games with you. We're going to be reacting to them live. You'll be able to see our thoughts on all these different games and give live reactions. Badaki, I'm pretty excited for Talk It Up. I know you are as well.
Yeah, I think this is the most exciting thing coming in this whole year. I think this is why we're concerned about this lockdown, because we want this to work out. Right now we can't travel, but yeah, we're really excited about Talk It Up. Is a place where people that don't have anyone to watch the game with, even though we can't live stream it, you can see us talk. We can talk about what's happening throughout that day in fantasy football, and just say, wow, crazy. Devontae Adams got 3-4 touchdowns, 100, freaking 15 targets or 20 targets. Did something crazy. Or, Alvin Kamara ran for 5 touchdowns. Crazy stuff like that. We'll just talk about it. We'll kind of hype it up. And we
Tiz, sorry to interrupt, because Tiz is on auto draft. The way you turn off auto draft, you'll see that there's a player queue. You'll see the word queue. You'll see results in chat. If you go to the queue button, the queue tab, there's an auto pick toggle. Now you have to click that toggle off to get off auto queue. If you can't see it, you might want to just close the app and reopen it. 23 people watching, really appreciate it. Can you help us get to 25 likes?
Yeah.
That would mean a lot to us if you could drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. But sorry, Talk It Up.
Talk It Up. Yeah, I said 115 targets. I meant 15, 20, whatever targets. But yeah, we're really excited, and hopefully this lockdown works out, and then Zach can come out here. If not, we'll definitely do something to kind of get it all together. Either way,
I'm gonna come out there. Don't matter.
Don't
I'll
matter.
make
He's
it
gonna
happen.
break the rules. Yeah, break the rule.
Um,
Nah.
but yeah, we're really, really excited for that. We'll also have a couple jersey. We'll have jersey giveaways, I think, every other week on that show.
Mm-hmm. At
As
the
long as
moment.
our sponsors are okay with that. We'll see. So yeah, pretty exciting. Definitely didn't want OBJ. So you got OBJ in the 10th round. Wide receivers still on the board. I get it. There's still a lot of youth there. A lot of people would prefer over OBJ. Hey guys, we have a podcast coming out later today, and there'll be YouTube content all this week about it. It's bounce back players. Okay, so we're specifically talking about players who either were injured last year, everyone except for one of them were injured, or had just not a year that they typically would have. Names that are on that list include Dak Prescott injured, Joe Burrow injured, Zeke didn't have an amazing year last year, Austin Eckler, Kenny G, almost said Jolladay, Kenny Colladay, OBJ, and Cortland Sutton. So that podcast should be out pretty soon. If you don't know, we have a podcast platform on. I mean, it's worldwide. If like every podcast platform, you can listen to it on.
That's right.
It's Fantasyland Football. We do 3 podcasts a week. In season, we do 4, and then 5 for our bonus Patreon supporters. But yeah, I'm excited to. There's a lot that changed for me prepping this podcast. And
Yeah,
I
same.
put like probably 6 hours in like just researching every single one of these people, like making sure that I had, all my ducks in a row, if you will. So really, really excited for that podcast. You'll see content all over YouTube for the next week around that. But also, if you want to listen to it on a podcast platform, then just search Fantasyland Football or look in the description of this video. You'll find all the links to listen to our podcast. Carson Wentz at the 11-6. Reports are that he is probably going to be ready for week 1. He's trending towards that way. Does that excite you?
Yeah, it's something to look forward to. I think if you're a Colts fan or a JT or Michael Pittman fan, yeah, you're pumped. You're buzzing that he can come back and have a somewhat of a year. They put a lot of money into this guy. Wasted a lot of. There was what's the contingencies with him?
He plays a certain amount of games, then they give a first-round pick, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot on the line, I guess, for the Colts and the Colts organization. Getting that first is a huge, huge deal. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, here I am. I'm actually really content with where I am.
Yeah.
And running backs right now.
I'm not excited with my team.
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to go ahead and draft Cole Kmet here. A lot of people are going to question why.
All right.
He's a top 10 tight end for me in Dynasty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I get him as a 12th tight end. I'm pretty happy with that personally.
Okay. Carter, what's up, man?
I don't think we've had Carter on the stream before.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think we have you on the stream. If you haven't, man, please subscribe, like the video. Thank you so much. What kind of year you think I'm saying Jerry Jeudy is going to have, or how do you think the Broncos offense will change with the developing Lock and Bridgewater?
Good question.
It's a great question.
We've actually made a video about that on YouTube already. It's basically we're comparing, Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. Who would you rather have? I think it really depends on who is the quarterback. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you and I have kind of come to the agreement that if it is, I'm just gonna grab Janu here. If it is Teddy Bridgewater, then it gets us much more excited about Jerry Jeudy than if it is Drew Lock. Drew Lock feels like the kind of guy who is more the deep ball. Let's just give him a chance, see what happens. Whereas Teddy Bridgewater can kind of like understand the routes that the wide receivers are running and place it in the right position. He might not have the same arm strength. So I think it really depends on who is starter. And by the way, we talked about that on our podcast yesterday. These Broncos preseason games are going to mean a lot to that quarterback position.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole preseason, there was a report that, Teddy and Lock is going to be getting a lot of time in preseason, even over the third string quarterback. So it's still competition. They're still up in the air to see who's going to be the guy. But I think for me, preparing for this podcast as well, I think it kind of changed everything for me, where I think Jerry Jeudy, no matter what, is going to be the number one guy in this offense. He will be, the main target for both Drew and Teddy.
He should be.
So I'm comfortable taking him, as high as maybe late 5th round, early 6th round in a dynasty perspective.
And redraft probably 8th, 7th, 8th.
Yeah, and redraft, I'm happy to take him 7th round. Sorry, early 7th. I'm really comfortable taking him there for me. But look, I think you should be excited about Jerry Jeudy. It was his freshman year. A lot of things changed. Noah Fant was in and out of the games. Courtland Sutton came out of the game really early with that injury. So all eyes were on him. Every single, defensive scheme, I feel like catered to him. And yes, there was weeks that Noah Fant was in the game. And then, 1-2 plays in, he was hurt. He couldn't do anything. Oh, can't believe it.
Yeah.
Did he go off the board? Gus Edwards, yeah.
Are y'all excited for Javonte this year, or does his value come from him inheriting the starter role after this year? Oh my God, you've come to the right place if you want to talk about Javonte Williams. I think the people who have been with us for, because we only started, 11 months ago, Fantasyland? But the people who have been listening for the past, 6 months know how much we are obsessed with Javonte Williams. He was our favorite player to scout from the NFL draft. He was our favorite out of all the players in the NFL draft. It was him. I think he just does everything. I genuinely think he does everything. And I think his talent is going to be the reason that he wins out. He's a far more talented running back than Melvin Gordon is at this moment. And I think, he has a great chance to be fantasy relevant this year. I'm personally not too worried about him. It's funny, we actually made a TikTok video about him before a lot of people knew, and that TikTok video blew up. We had 180,000 views, and it was pretty cool to see. But we're basically letting everyone know you need to draft Javonte Williams. At that point, no one really knew the name, but that video blew up, and then a lot of people in the fantasy community kind of caught on. So I think we are Javonte Williams lovers. I fully expect him to be valuable this year. I expect the talent to win out. Now, Melvin Gordon will still have a role, but I still think Javonte Williams will be the most valuable running back there in Denver.
Yeah, I think everything that Zach said, I piggyback on that. I think the guy is crazy. The guy is actually crazy. Melvin Gordon. And if you're worried about Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, I really highly recommend that you watch that video. Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams, because we actually talk about it in depth a little bit to understand our thought process
on our channel.
Yeah, on our YouTube. Our thought process, what we feel that, Javonte Williams can do, what he can't do, or what Melvin Gordon is going to do, and what this offense is going to look like. But I guess in short, we believe, like Zach said, the talent is gonna surpass Melvin Gordon. He will become the starting back. If not, by the early mid this year, he would definitely be the starter next year. No doubt about it. So
still think he's going to be the more valuable running back this year, though.
Yeah.
Personally. I just think the talent wins out. This guy is far more talented than Melvin Gordon at this point of his career. And the Broncos don't seem like a team who are waiting to play the best players. I think they want to be a good team. I think they want to be a good team now.
I feel like they've been trying to be a good team for a long time, and then all their players are just getting older and older. He was good 2-3 years ago, but now he's old. It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just saw a comment from Tiz. A bunch of people talking about the Broncos. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, Mark H, you're right. It'll be super interesting to see what happens in the preseason with these quarterbacks. They are such an interesting team. Tiz says Broncos have gotten a new running back 5 out of the last 6 years, and they've all flopped. They haven't really drafted a quarterback or a running back, that high in the past 5 years. You have to think. I'm pretty sure Philip Lindsay was undrafted.
Was he undrafted? Let me check.
I believe he was, or he was a very late round pick. Melvin Gordon was a free agency signing. But also, we can't judge what's happened at a position for a team rather than the player and his talent, you know? So, I mean, historically, Denver running backs have, you know, some of the greats have been from Denver. So, I still think Javonte's talent will win out. But I get the worry. I think that's more of a mental part of the game that, you know, you worry about that position.
Yeah, he was undrafted by Denver in 2018.
Yeah.
He was the
He was
first
undrafted,
ever,
right?
first ever undrafted offensive rookie to ever make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. I mean, see, Philip didn't flop, bro. Philip in his rookie year was a baller. I mean, he never got to live up to that. I also think he's more suited to be a complimentary back than anything anyway. But Philip Lindsay, he was nice, bro.
Tis no other running back.
What?
Royce Freeman, Booker, Montel Ball. Yeah, look, I mean, you're right. They probably
Monty Ball. Geez, we're going back to the Peyton Manning years. That's a long time ago. Yeah, a lot of those guys weren't drafted in the second round, though. But I get it. I get the worry. But personally, I don't think any of those guys I was excited about, like I'm excited about Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
Mark H says, "Where's Javonte going in rookie drafts? How high has he climbed?" I think he was going in the first round already. I think now the conversation now is more like, do you take Javonte or Travis Etienne? So I think he's probably a top 6 pick in most rookie drafts. I think people are just trying to figure out who they would rather have, Etienne or Javonte. You know, the thing with both of those guys is they're both like do it all backs, in my opinion. Though the top 3 this year are all do it all backs: Etienne, Najee, and Javonte. They can all do everything. They can pass protect. They can catch the ball. They're good, you know, in single back sets. They can all do everything. They can all be goal line backs as well. Obviously, you know, Etienne is a better pass catching back than the other two, but the other two have you know, other assets that I think all 3 of those guys are in a tier of their own. And I don't think it's Najee over the other two. I think it's Najee, Javonte, Etienne, all on the same tier, in my opinion, when it comes to talent. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was making my pick.
You're good.
Interesting, man. Interesting.
Is that interessante?
Interessante. Yeah, man. I mean, we won't know. We're gonna find out in the preseason game. Hopefully, we see Javonte on the field. See him in a jersey.
I hope not. I don't need to see him on the field yet.
Is Zach saying that because he has a lot of draft capital in Javonte?
I have a lot of capital in Javonte. Yes.
So he's scared.
And Etienne, actually.
He's scared. He don't want to get hurt.
He's scared. Should we start giving out draft grades?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you haven't dropped a like on the video, it would mean a lot to us if you could do so. Help us get to 25. Let's see if we can do it. Giving out draft grades.
You want to do Seesaw?
Now.
You can do Seesaw's draft grade if you want. You go.
Well, you just drafted, so it might be good for you to do his, so I can make this pick.
All right, Patrick Mahomes, Tua, Teddy B.
Let's make these like relatively quick.
Yeah, AJ Brown, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Reagor, Parker, Swift, JJ, Cam Akers, Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay. I think, you know, taking Cam there to kind of save yourself is good, but it was a bit early. Look, overall, I think this is a decent team. I think your wide receivers are good. I still wouldn't have taken Michael Thomas in the 8th. I would have taken somebody else there. Even whether it's youth or any other guys that were still available on the board, you know. So for me, I think this is a B- for me. Team.
Okay. B-. What could have been better?
The Cam Akers pick. Once again, Michael Thomas. You got Logan Thomas, and you have one tight end, and then, you know, it's just a running back room. The depth there is a little bit weak, so that's it for me.
So here's Tebow fan. I'm not going to be able to make this pick, unfortunately.
Yeah, Seahawks, we understand it's auto. I guess happens, you know. It happens, brother.
The auto happens. It really does. Okay, I got someone on queue. Let's see. All right, Tebow, you've got Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. Your running backs are Austin Eckler, James Robinson, Raheem Mostert, James Conner, Latavius Murray. So I think looking at the running back room, that is a weakness for you. Raheem Mostert's almost 30. James Conner well past his prime. I don't believe James Robinson is the alpha in that backfield after this year. So you will struggle with running back in 2 years from now, pretty heavily, in my opinion. So let's look at the wide receivers: DK Metcalf, Jamar Chase, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Kadarius Toney, Gabe Davis. You are stacked at wide receiver. Your tight end is Robert Tonyan. Okay, so honestly, I'm okay with Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr, kind of filling in as my quarterback too. I don't love those guys in Dynasty, but I'm okay with them filling that role. I do think that the running back room and the tight end are your biggest weakness here. So I'm going to have to give this a B flat. It's a good team. You've done well. I love your wide receiver room, but I do think you will struggle with running backs and tight ends in the next year or two.
Okay. Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts, Jameis Winston, and Jimmy G. It's good that you locked up that 49ers quarterback room. CMC, Nick Chubb, Mike Davis, Kenny and Drake, and Elijah Mitchell.
Shout out to
Elijah Mitchell. This is it's a weak running back room. Chubb and CMC, obviously that's fine, but I think Mike Davis, Kenny, I don't know, man. This is so iffy now with Kenny and Drake because I'm starting to get high on him. So as your flex, I think is good. Mike Davis is good depth. So you know what? The running back room is decent. I'm not in love with it. It's decent. Then you have Terry, Allen.
It's hard to say it's bad with Chubb and CMC.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I don't mean when I say it's bad, I'm not talking about your key players. I'm talking about the depth. I'm talking about the depth of the running back room. Terry, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Claypool with Hollywood Brown. I like your wide receiver room. And then Mike Gesicki. I think it's the only tight end there on the team. You're going to have this last pick here. So, look, overall, I think this team is good. I think for me is the depth in the running back room and if I can rely on them. So, I think overall, for me, this is a B-plus team. I like everyone else on the team, honestly.
Okay. All right, we're at TTJB. Your quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff. I love the first two there. That is a great combo to start with Lamar and Ryan Tannehill. Your running backs are Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Zeke Elliott, Zach Moss, J.D. McKissic, Jamal Williams. Your tight end is Darren Waller and Jared Cook. Your wide receivers are DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Jarvis Landry, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams. So for me, I'm happy with the running back room. I like Clyde. I like Zeke. I like Zach Moss. I don't love Zach Moss, but if I would rather have Zach Moss as my RB4, if I'm honest, but I'm okay with him as your RB3. I will say the running back depth does fall off, but that's Dynasty. That's drafting. That happens to a lot of people. I don't love, I love your tight end. I love your quarterbacks. I don't love the wide receiver room, if I'm honest with you. And obviously, you don't take a wide receiver for the first 6 picks, then you're going to be limited in the options that you have. DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, both good pieces. I'm not sure either will ever be, a top 12 wide receiver. A lot of people would see that differently, and that is actually okay. But I don't love the wide receiver room here. Decent depth, but a lot of these guys are older. Brandon Cooks is older. He's getting up there. Jarvis isn't getting the same with Tyler Lockett. So I do think you struggle a little bit at wide receiver. And the thing is, there was a lot of younger guys available in these later rounds. What if you got Michael Pittman instead of a Tyler Lockett or Elijah Moore instead of Tyler Lockett? Hey, shout out to Summit for following, bro. Appreciate that. Jarvis Landry. You could have gotten younger players in these later rounds, and I think that would have really helped your team logistically. So this for me is a B+. It is a good team, but man, this could have been an A so easily if you just chose the right wide receivers later on in the draft. You're muted again. You did that thing where you mute
Thing.
yourself and then expect.
My bad. Killer K, my bad. I was talking. Yeah, I mute myself when he does the thing. But anyways, Baker
Oh,
Mayfield.
by the way, I sorry, I just saw Noah's comment. Or sorry, I saw Gator's comment. He said, "I'm gonna make you proud with my last pick." He took Noah Gray. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. Sorry,
There
go
you
ahead.
Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, decent. And then you have Dalvin Cook, Henry, Michael Carter back, Tony Pollard, and Alexander Madison. Once again, are we comfortable taking Derrick Henry still in the third with the talent that's on the board? Would you have taken a Javonte, an Aaron Jones, a Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
I think it's really in question if what you truly believe in Derrick Henry. I don't think Zach and I would do that. But Derrick Henry still is the king. He's still great as a running back in fantasy. It's a little bit
so many people on the board I would have rather had than Derrick Henry. And it also, sorry, just quickly jump in here. If you're a win now team, that's the only reason you should have Derrick Henry. But Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz are the starting quarterbacks for this team. So I don't think that this is a win now team necessarily.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill, D Hop, Roberto Woods, Alan Thielen, Henry Huggs, AB. I like your wide receiver room. You know, I like Roberto, Adam Thielen, and Henry Huggs. It's not bad. AB is a good late round snatch there. TJ Hawkinson, Tyler Higbee. I like your tight ends as well. Hawkinson is great. Look, once again, I think the only thing for me in this draft is the Derrick Henry. You know, maybe the youth and wide receiver, but maybe you were trying to become a win now team because you did take Dalvin Cook at the 1.6. You probably go a late round quarterback. So in my opinion, it looks like a win now team with Michael Carter there, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook. So I think it's a decent team. I don't think it's terrible. It's just we wouldn't take Derrick Henry that high. So I'm just gonna give it a B flat for me.
Okay. By the way, I see the comments in the chat. I see Ilias, if that's how you say your name, asking about Marquez Callaway.
A lot of talks. We'll talk about it right after this, though.
There's a lot of questions. We will talk about them soon. Is this Perkins I'm doing?
Yeah.
All right. You got Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, Jordan Love. Your running backs are J.K. Dobbins, Joe Mixon, Kareem Hunt, A.J. Dillon, Larry Roundtree. Your wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, Darnell Money Mooney. Y'all know I love him. Denzel Mims, Amari Rogers. Your tight end is Mark Andrews and Pat Freiermuth. This is a really good team. Really, really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it could be a win now team as well, but also mixed with a little bit of the future with the Money Mooney pick, the Dobbins pick, the Herbert. So this is a really good mix. You know, if I have to nitpick, I'm gonna say, you know, the quarterback depth is slightly questionable. You know, after Tom Brady, what happens if he retires this year and we're thinking about dynasty long term? I think the wide receiver room is good because you're anchored by Diggs. And then you've got, you know, those three guys in Samuel, Sutton, and Mooney to kind of compete for your wide receiver 2 or 3 spots. This is a good team. This is one of my favorite teams so far. What would I have done differently?
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
I think I would have taken Michael Carter instead of Kareem Hunt at the 6'6". Let's see. I personally am not a Sutton guy, so I would have taken like a Pittman or an Elijah Moore. But this is a good team. I'm going to give this an A-. I like this team because I feel like they could win now, but they also have some future there.
I think that's Perkins with 2, A's in a row in drafts here. Cold world, real cold world. Dak Prescott, Zach Wilson. I love the quarterback room.
There's no third though.
No third, but I still like it. I think for me, in my perspective, I'm okay not having a third quarterback and streaming that third quarterback just in case something happens. If there's
can't stream a third quarterback in Dynasty, bro.
I know. I'm just saying.
Come on, who's on the board right now? Let's see. Who are you gonna stream?
I can't check it. But anyways,
second, third strings available.
Anyways, Antonio Gibson, Ronald Jones, Damian Harris, Chuba Hubbard, Jamar Jefferson, and Evans. I think it's weak here. Actually, it's all right. Gibson, Ronald Jones, Damian is good, but I think the depth is weak. I understand Chuba. All these guys are future picks, maybe some taxi guys, so it's all right. It's not terrible. Then you have George Kittle with Irv Smith. I understand that was an auto pick, but it's all right. Cooper Kupp. This is your first pick. Your first wide receivers in the 8th round. Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman, Robbie Anderson, St. Brown, and Russell Gage. Interesting. I don't mind that wide receiver room. I like Coop. Pittman in the 9th is great. Robbie in the 10th is awesome. St. Brown in the 12th. Wow. Russell Gage. Hopefully that's something.
It's a good team.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Honestly, like I think the quarterback 3 is what's really like. You have to at least have 3 quarterbacks. You can't stream quarterbacks in Dynasty.
Yeah,
it's just not possible.
I think I'm okay having if you're not going to stream a quarterback, I'm okay having another position at flex if it's a strong position at the super flex position.
Yeah.
Some other people don't like to do that.
I just think you're probably at a disadvantage if you had 2 quarterbacks, but if he had a third quarterback like Fitzpatrick, Winston,
Devontae Adams, by the way. I thought
Devontae
Cooper
Adams
Kupp was his.
This is a good. This is actually that's what I'm trying to say. This is a very, very good team.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I just completely skipped over Devontae Adams, which is funny.
What's your grade on this?
This is a good team. I think this is, for me, this is an A team. Like I said, I like his quarterbacks, his running backs with Devontae Adams. This is A- for me.
Yeah. I would say it would honestly take me up to an A flat. It's an A minus as well, but it would be an A flat if there was a third quarterback there I could rely on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sean from New Zealand, bro. Your running backs are Russell Wilson, your quarterbacks. Wilson, Ryan, Fitzpatrick. Not too shabby. Your running backs are Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Myles Gaskin, Kenneth Gainwell, David Johnson. I like the 3. You guys know I'm not obsessed with Gaskin and Dynasty. I'm just not certain that he is a long-term answer. But as my RB3, I'm more comfortable with that. I like the Kenneth Gainwell pick. All right, so Calvin Ridley was on the board, and you took him. Amari Cooper, Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel, Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton. Wide receiver depth is a little bit questionable, but there's enough there to kind of cover. I like Ridley. I like Cooper. I think as a wide receiver 1 and 2, that is quite strong. Boyd is a good guy, but after that, the depth is a little bit questionable, and I think that is an issue because in Dynasty, there are so many potential young stars at the wide receiver position that you need to take advantage of later on. So, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like a Tony, guys like a Elijah Moore and Michael Pittman, Rondale Moore. So Josh Palmer, Brian Edwards. I think I probably would have leaned towards taking a chance on some of those guys over the other depth, but that's just nitpicking. Tight end is Goddard and Ingram. I think there's enough to cover there. This is a good team. I'm not in love with it, I have to be honest. I'm not in love with it. I think it's a good team. Tight end is a little bit, it's not top tier, but it's good. Second quarterback, third quarterback, not top tier, but it's good. This is a B+ for me.
Okay. Tis Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford. That's your 3 quarterbacks there. Then you have Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris with Rashad Penny, Devonta Booker, and Williams. Once again, your top tier running backs are great. It falls really deep, or it falls off in the depth. You got Booker as the backup for say if he doesn't play the first game or 2, whatever the case may be. But I'm not expecting anything from Penny or Williams this year. So I think that the depth in the running back room is weak. Then you have Brandon Ayuk, DJ Chark, Juju, OBJ, Michael Gallup, and Will Fuller. I understand OBJ probably wasn't auto picking. You wanted to take somebody else. It's all good. It happens. Your wide receiver room is all right. I think I would have taken a what is it? I would have. Juju is all right. I guess you can take there. Chark. I think it's the Chark is what I'm questioning. Am I taking anyone else over Chark? Maybe not. Are you taking Debo, Cooper Kupp, Roberto over Chark? Maybe. I don't know. I'm taking Chark. I had to take Chark. It's a little bit early at the 7, but I'm still taking Chark. Noah Fant, Adam Troutman as your tight ends. Running back room, I think that's where it falls for me. It's the depth in the running back room. These guys mean nothing, in my opinion, in the league here. This has to be a B- team. I like the wide receiver room is decent. OBJ, I think I would have taken somebody else there. we're going to do a video about OBJ and if he can bounce back, and you'll hear my opinion on that. Michael Gallup can go to any team that can be valuable. Hopefully he can be valuable this year in this Dallas team. So look, I think, yeah, B- is a good sign for me. I love your tight ends. Your quarterbacks are great. Your 2 top tier running backs are good. Your 2 top wide receivers are decent, and then the rest, everything else falls off for me. So B-.
Okay. Tommy C. All right, so you've got. I don't think Tommy's used to doing Dynasty. You got Joe. Let me know if I'm wrong, Tommy. Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, Kyle Trask. Your running backs are David Montgomery, Chris Carson, Leonard Fournette, Gus Edwards, Ramondre Stevenson. Your wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Rondale Moore, Terrace Marshall, De'Ami Brown, Jacoby Myers. A lot of Patriots here. Tight end is Kyle Pitts and Hunter Henry. And I think, yeah, I just covered all the positions. So, obviously there's definitely question marks in the running back room. David Montgomery is a guy I would prefer to have as my RB2. And in Dynasty, I would prefer to have Chris Carson as my RB3. So that is, what's going to happen when you don't take a running back in the first 3. So I don't love the RB room. I do love Gus Edwards, though, in the 11th round. I think that's great value. I love CeeDee Lamb, love Jerry Jeudy. But outside of that, there are question marks about Rondale and Terrace. I do like that you went for the youth. I love Rondale Moore. There is still questions. It is a good, prospective wide receiver room, but there will be questions. I think the quarterback room is decent. Kyle Pitts, again, at the 112. I love him so much. I can't take him at the 112, though. I think if you want him and you're drafting at the 12, you need to trade out of that spot and maybe trade to the 212. So this is a good team. I'm going to give it a B flat, though. It's not in the A's for me. All right. See, a lot of questions, a lot of comments, a lot of people upset. That's classic when we give out draft grades. Let's see what the comments are. Let's see. So firstly, let's see.
I guess just a preference before you say anything.
Yeah.
When we give out draft grades, I guess these are main things we're looking at. We're looking at youth. We're looking at depth at position. And depth at position. I think those are the 2 key things. Is there anything else?
Depth at position, but in SuperFlex quarterbacks as well. Big part of it.
Yeah. So and I understand a lot of people's like, oh, well, I have 2 key running backs and the other running backs are like maybe just other pieces. But if any of those, let's just go back to the draft board really quick. Let's just say Tiz team. Great example. Last year, Saquon Barkley went down. Let's say he started off with this team. Who is he starting? The backup Devonta Booker you would expect. That's not exciting, though. That's why we believe that the depth at running back position is extremely important to where somebody, I don't know, who has decent running back depth. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't even have good running back depth.
Maybe we should start grading ourselves again so people realize that we're not just harsh on them. We're
not just harsh on them. Yeah, because I think that's what people understand. So for example, I think I gave Cole World a good team because he has Gibson and Ronald Jones. They're not. That's a bad one. That's not. There's no good.
Well, Gibson, Ronald Jones, Damian Harris. But again, I think you did say that the running back depth after that is very questionable. Anyway, let's address some of the comments directly. Yeah. Let's see. So how do you feel about Marquez Callaway? I love Marquez Callaway. I think he is getting a lot of hype out of camp.
Yeah.
He seems to be the next guy up in this offense for Michael Thomas. I think he's a great last round pick in redraft leagues, and in Dynasty, he's a guy I'm trying to get in the last couple of rounds as well right now because his ADP is so low. It's criminally low. You should have him on most of your Dynasty teams as a what if. How you have Team 5 over Team 4? Mark wants to answer that question. Look, we don't have the time to specifically go over, how we graded each of those teams right now. We do have to record a podcast. But if I instantly look at them, how do I have Team 5 over Team 4? Well, you know what? Let's just go look at it, okay? Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts. Not a fan of Jalen Hurts. Also, the tight end position for Team 4 is extremely questionable. Only one tight end, and it's Mike Gesicki. personally, personally prefer Team 5 over Team 4. What about you, Badaki? Are we still on the same page here?
Yeah, I think I'm still on the same page. Yes, Jared Cook probably doesn't mean anything, but I guess he has another tight end. Once again, this is all mock draft, so it's going to be interesting what people, if you're in our leagues and we grade your mock drafts, grade your actual drafts. But yeah, I do agree with you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Next question. And again, guys, like if you're upset by our grades, that's totally okay. What you have to understand is that we are trying to help you. We're not trying to say we're awesome at this. We're just trying to help. So if you're upset by the grades, you either just take what we've said and say, I can learn something from this, or you think, well, they didn't teach me anything. It is what it is. So you can either learn something or maybe you just don't trust our judgment. That's okay.
Right.
A lot of questions, a lot of people disagreeing. That's okay. I don't really think we have time to go through all these, if I'm honest with you. There's just so many questions about people who are upset by the grades.
No, that's all good. I think.
What's up, Aditya? Welcome to the stream. People aren't happy. Unlucky.
It's all right. I think yeah, maybe we start grading ourselves again to understand like what we would do in a draft. Once again, I like to go running back heavy all the time, even in the Dynasty draft. So like I said, when I was telling you about me taking Travis Kelce and Justin Jefferson there, didn't feel comfortable. Why? Because I didn't have running back depth. I know the depth of wide receiver is a lot bigger. I could have gotten some good, valuable people, and I would have gone with a lot more rookies in that position, to be specific. Like I took a Rashad Bateman, I would take an Elijah Moore if he falls to me. A St. Brown if he falls to me, because those are guys that I believe in. But
I mean, I feel like as if I have there's other areas of this draft that I did really terrible at, which is tight end. But and wide receiver. But if you look at my draft, I personally think that that's good running back depth. Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Trey Sermon, Darrell Henderson. I think that's a good amount of depth for a dynasty league. There's 4 running backs there that I can count on. 3 that I believe are starters. One that I believe is a starter this year. He could develop into a starter next year, compete with Cam Akers. But I think there's enough depth there. There's enough opportunity for me to kind of take that team going forward. I'm trying to look at another team. I think Cole World's done pretty well. Like, while he doesn't have elite running back 2s, Ronald Jones, Damian Harris, those are both guys. There's now the 4th running back. We don't know. We don't know who we could rely on as that 4th RB. So maybe the 4th RB is a big one. I think Perkins has done pretty well at the running back room. Dobbins, Mixon, Hunt, Dillon. I think those are all 4 guys that you can rely on in Dynasty. Who else here? So yeah, I mean, look, I think obviously you look at the top heavy ones. How could you say Team 4 and Team 11 aren't good at a running back? They are good. The depth is just a little bit questionable. So yeah, I hope that helps. Again, you are completely open. You have every right to have an opinion. That's okay. Our point is not to trash on your team. It's hopefully to help. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Yeah.
I'm going to record a podcast now. Dak Prescott to have his second MRI. Cowboys say quarterback has not had a setback in recovery from muscle strain. No need to worry. They're just going to get another MRI for Dak Prescott to be ready for week 1. Okay, so then why even tweet it?
Yeah. Did you... Oh, sorry. This is a Hard Knocks
question. Yeah, maybe we can.
It's a Hard Knocks one.
All love y'all. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Twitch and YouTube, whatever platforms you're on. We do have a podcast. We're going to record a podcast now. Bounce back players, or are they just
back?
Yes,
sir.
All love, Henry. Thank you so much for joining. Got to run. Great stuff. I'll definitely be back. All love, guys. Thank you so much for the support. We'll talk to you later. GG's. Later.